Okay, I think we're in business. Okay, firstly, let me apologize for the fact that I am not able to conduct the class in person. I'm waiting on an important package, and I just got the notification yesterday that it should be coming in today. I thought it was going to come this weekend, but I have to be here to sign off on it. So therefore, as a result, I have to stay put. In the meantime, I'll be conducting the class from here, from my home. And let me see here. This is what we'll be covering in this chapter, chapter 4, which deals with element atoms and ions. Let me proceed to the assignment. In the meantime, any questions about the videos for chapter 4? I'm sorry, chapter 3, not, hold on, wait a minute. Chapter 3, right? Not chapter 4, I'm jumping the gun. Chapter 3. Any questions concerning the videos for chapter 3? Okay, let me see here. Um, yeah, chapter 3. Thank you, Cooper. Any questions concerning that chapter? Any clarification needed before we get into the assignment itself? Okay, so if there are no questions, I don't see any questions appearing here. Let's start off with, oh, wait a minute. I see a message here. Oh, good question. Somebody's asking if the assignment is up. I should have checked on that before, so let me do that now. Let me go to Files. Assignment Spring 22. Okay, so let me publish that now. Thank you, whoever said that, um, for reminding me. Okay, so now you should be able to have access to it. So you can click on it and bring it up so that you can follow along as we work these problems. Okay, somebody else is saying something here. Oh, right. It's now there. Who is this? This is Cooper, yeah. You should be able to access it now. Okay, good. All right. So let me bring up my copy on the screen. Okay, so let's deal with question number 1, which says you have to classify the following as a pure substance, and in doing that, you have to say or indicate whether or not it's an element or compound, or a mixture, in which case you have to indicate if it's a homogeneous or heterogeneous mixture, all right? So those are the options in answer to question number 1, all right? So the first one is that the air we breathe, all right? So I want to hear what you guys think, what you think the answer should be. Should it be a pure substance, the air we breathe, or is it a mixture? And which category would it be in each case? The air we breathe. Anybody? Well, let me ask you this. Do you consider the air we breathe to be a pure substance, or is it a mixture?
It's a mixture.
A mixture, very good. So the question now becomes, what type of mixture is it? Is it a homogeneous mixture or a heterogeneous mixture? Okay, somebody is messaging. Homogeneous is correct, and that was stated by Giovanni. So the answer here is homogeneous mixture. All right, very good. Okay, and that is true, by the way, for any gaseous mixture. If you mix any 2 or more gases together in a container, that would be a homogeneous mixture. All right, very good. B says a nickel. Now, please note, it didn't say the element nickel. And by the way, I think nickel the element is spelled, let me just do a quick check here. Oh, okay. The spelling is the same. Anyway, but it says a nickel. So I wouldn't say that's an element. I think they're referring to the coin. All right. So my question to you is, which category would you put a nickel in? Well, no idea.
A nickel would also be combination. So homogeneous mixture, right?
Exactly. It's a homogeneous mixture. In actual fact, the pretty much all coins are made up of a mixture of metals. So it would be a homogeneous mixture, right? I don't know if you're familiar with this term alloy, right? An alloy is basically a mixture of metals. All right. So for example, brass, I forgot what brass is made of, but it's made up of two metals. Um, and there's another one I can't think of right now. But anyway, so whenever you have a mixture of metals, right, we call that an alloy. And those mixtures are homogeneous. Okay, what about C, magnesium? Which category would you put magnesium in? Okay, let's see. Somebody is in the chat.
Also
Element,
homogeneous.
okay, I would agree. Now, because the options given is pure substance, element, and compound,
Oh, okay.
I would put pure substance in this case, and then element. All right. Okay, what about seawater?
Homogeneous.
I'm sorry?
The mixture one.
It's a mixture.
Is it
What kind of mixture?
is it not homogeneous?
Exactly, homogeneous mixture. Very good. All right, and then the last one, gasoline. What kind of, what category, I should say, would you put that in?
Is it also homogeneous
Exactly,
mixture?
homogeneous mixture. Gasoline is actually a mixture of a group of compounds known as hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are organic compounds which are made up of only carbon and hydrogen. And basically, the different types of fuels have different, what's the word I'm looking for? Different compositions, right? So gasoline will have a particular composition of a certain group of hydrocarbons. Then you have diesel, and then you have the other types of fuels, all right? Kerosene and so on. Okay, so that basically completes number one. Let me clear that. And let's move on now to question number two. Now, question number two is dealing with the difference between a physical and chemical change. So basically, when we're talking about a chemical change, or let me start with a physical change. When you're dealing with a physical change, we're talking about a change where there is something that you can observe as a change, but the composition or structure of the substance itself does not change, right? So a good example of this is when you convert water from the liquid state to the gaseous state, right? There's a change. You're going from one state to another, liquid to gaseous, but the composition of water and the structure of the water molecules do not change. You're still ending up with H2O in the gaseous state, whereas you started off with H2O in the liquid state, all right? So that's basically what happens in the case of a physical change. Now, in the case of a chemical change, there is a change where the resulting products is different from what you started off with. So, for example, in the case of water, again, using water as an example, if you pass an electric current through water, this is what happens. You're going to get hydrogen and oxygen, all right? So basically, you're starting off with water, H2O, and you're ending up with two different substances, hydrogen and oxygen, all right? So that's an example of a chemical change. So basically, the big difference between a chemical change and a physical change is that in the case of the physical change, there is no change in the composition or structure of the substance. But in the case of the chemical change, there will be a change in the composition and structure as you go from the starting material to the end product. All right. So with that said, let's see if you can tell me the categories that you'll put each of these under. Starting off with number 2A. The metal gets warmer. Is that physical or chemical? Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's saying something here. Oh, okay. So somebody's answering the first question, I take it. And this person, Cooper, is saying physical for number 2A. And that is correct. So let me write that down here. Physical. Okay, what about B? Explosion of nitroglycerin. Is that a chemical change or a physical change?
Chemical.
Okay, let me see what this person says. Chemical is indeed correct. So let me write that down here. Okay. What about the corrosion of iron metal? Corrosion of iron metal. All right, so okay, somebody else, Ellsworth, is saying chemical, which is true. That's correct as well. So let me write that down, or I'll just put ditto marks here. And then the last one, water condenses on metal. Water condenses on metal. What type of okay, let's see what this person says. Physical is indeed correct. So physical is the answer for that one. Okay, very good. All right, so that's it. I don't think there's too much to explain here. Not difficult to understand. So let me clear this and scroll down. Okay, now in this case, it's kind of similar to what we were discussing earlier. What they're asking for is basically identifying each of these as a statement of a statement as to whether or not what is described is a physical property or a chemical property. All right. So physical means, of course, a property when observed that does not involve a change in the composition or the structure. And chemical means a property that, when observed, involves a change in the structure or composition. Okay, so 3A, what category would you put that in? Would that be a physical property or chemical property? Okay, let's see what this person says. Okay, so this person says chemical, which is correct. All right, so let me write that down here. Chemical. All right. What about the next one? Zinc has a density of 7.13 grams per mil at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's see what this person says. That is, okay, so Brandon says physical, which is correct. So let me write that down here. And then the next one, C, silver is a lustrous metal. Now, lustrous basically means that it shines. It's shiny, all right? So what would you say that is? Is that a physical property or a chemical property? Okay, I see two responses. So let's see here. Physical and physical. Yep, I would agree. So let me put here physical. And then the last one, D, zinc dissolves in dilute hydrochloric acid, producing hydrogen gas. So let's see what you guys have to say about that one. I see two responses, and they're both chemical and they're both right. So here I'm going to put chemical, and that's it. All right. Okay. Any questions about this? Any questions? Any questions about these? Okay. Let me whoops, shouldn't have done that. Let me clear this first and scroll down. Okay, so again, we're looking at the differences between physical and chemical properties. So basically what this question says, you're to identify the following as either chemical C or physical property P, all right? So let's start off with number one. What say you? Okay, so physical, I would agree with that. Okay. What about number two? Number two, density, which would be, okay, somebody said physical, and that's correct as well. Okay, what about number three? Flammability, chemical, indeed, that is correct. Let me put that here, so that's C. Solubility, what say you? Okay, now solubility is usually physical, right? There are some instances where it can be chemical, but it's usually for the most part physical, all right? So I'm going to put P here, all right? Okay, number five, reacts with acid. Reacts with acid. Okay, let's see what this person says. Chemical is indeed correct. So we're going to put C here. Okay, what about number six? Supports combustion. Supports combustion. Combustion, of course, mean burning, all right? So let's see what you guys say. Chemical, yep, I would agree. Pretty much burning anything is a chemical change or chemical property displayed. Number seven, sour taste. Sour taste. Okay, let's see what this person says. Physical is indeed correct, so we're going to put P here. Okay, on the other side, melting point. Melting point is physical. I agree with that. Okay, reacts with water. Reacts with water. Okay, reacts with water would be chemical, so C. All right. Let me see here. Next one is hardness. Okay, so let's see what this person says. Hardness would be physical. Okay, the next one is boiling point. Boiling point is physical, so P. Okay, luster. Again, luster basically means shiny. Okay, physical. Okay. Odor. Odor, is that physical or chemical? Let me see here. Okay, so physical is indeed correct. So P here. Reacts with air. Chemical, I agree. So C goes here. Okay, very good. And I think that completes number 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, okay, good. So let me clear this here. And scroll down. Okay, so now we're going to look at changes, physical and chemical changes. All right. Starting with sodium chloride, which is table salt, dissolves in water. So is that a chemical or physical change? Let's see what this person says. Physical is indeed correct. So I'm going to put a P here. Okay, the next one, silver tarnishes. Let's see what you guys say. Okay, chemical is indeed correct. Okay, an apple is cut. Is that physical or chemical? Physical. All right, I would agree with that. So P. Okay, heat changes water to steam. Heat changes H2O to steam. So let's see what you guys say. Physical, 2 persons said that, and that's correct. So that's P. Okay, the next one. Baking soda reacts to vinegar. That should be vinegar, not vinegar. And let's see what this person says. Chemical, which I'm in total agreement with. So C. Okay, iron rust. I think we saw this earlier. Um, so what would you say about that one? Let's see what this person said. This person says, 2 persons says chemical. So chemical here. And then alcohol evaporates. Okay, let's see what this person says. Physical, yes, I would agree. Ice melts. 2 persons says physical. I would agree with that. Okay, and let's go over to the other side here. Milk sours. Okay, milk sours. Somebody says, 2 persons says chemicals, which is true. So that would be C. Okay, next one. Sugar dissolves in water. Sugar dissolves in water. Okay, let's see what this person says. Physical, yep. Okay, wood rots. Would that be a chemical change or a physical change? Okay, let's see what this person says. Not so sure about that, Ava. Because the rotting of anything like, plant material, animal material, and so on, that would be a chemical change. So we have to put C here. All right. Pancakes cook. Chemical indeed. Grass grows. Sure about that, Giovanni? It would indeed be chemical. A tire is inflated. Indeed, physical. Food is digested. That would be chemical. Okay, very good. And the last one I think here is paper towel absorbs water. Physical, exactly. Okay, very good. All right, so I think that's the last question for, let me just see here. Okay, good. So let me clear this here and scroll down. Okay, so again, we're going to look at some scenarios here, and you're to tell whether or not there's a physical or chemical change occurring in each case. So let's start off with the first one. An ice cube is placed in the sun. Later, there's a puddle of water. Later still, the puddle is gone. All right, so what category would you put those changes under? Would you put it under the category of physical or chemical change? Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, somebody says physical. I would agree with that, so let me write that. I'm going to put the letter P here. All right. What about the next one? Two chemicals are mixed together and a gas is produced. Okay, let's see what you guys say. Two persons said chemical, and that is correct. So I'm going to put a C here. Give me a minute. I need to turn on the heat in this place. Okay, I'm back. All right, so for number 3, a bicycle changes color as it rusts. All right. So what category would you put that under? Let me see here. So two persons responded and they both said chemical, so that is correct. So I'm going to put a C here. Okay, next one. A solid is crushed to a powder. Okay, two persons responding again. Seems as if it's the same two persons. Rest of you can follow, can contribute as well. Both persons says physical. So yes, that would be correct. Okay, next one. Two substances are mixed and light is produced. So what category would you put that under? Okay, let's see here. Um, chemical is indeed correct. So we're going to put C here. Okay. Now, number 6, think carefully about this one. It says a piece of ice melts and reacts with sodium. So what do you think the answer to that is? Okay, let's see what. Okay. I see 3 responses. Okay. You all said chemical, and that's partially true, but please note what the question says. It says a piece of ice melts, right? So that's one change. And then the next change is it reacts with sodium, right? So the first change, what kind of change do you think that is? Okay, let's see what this person says. Physical, exactly. So basically, there are 2 answers that we need to put here. The first one is physical, and then the next one is chemical. So the first one is P, the next is C, all right? All right, let me clear this, and let me scroll down. Okay, so the next one is mixing salt and pepper. So let's see what you guys have to say about that. Physical is indeed correct, so I'm going to put a P here. All right. And then the next one is chocolate syrup is dissolved in milk. So let's see what you guys say about that one. Physical is indeed correct. So I'm going to put P here. And then the next one, number 9, a marshmallow is toasted over a campfire. Let's see what you guys say about that. Chemical is indeed correct. So we're going to put a C here. And then number 10, a marshmallow is cut in half. Let's see what you guys have to say about that one. That would be physical indeed. So we're going to put a P here. Okay. And that completes number 6, I believe. Yeah. So let's clear this. And scroll down. Okay, so in this case here, you're to classify each of these substances according to whether or not they're elements, compounds, or mixtures. Now, if you cannot find a category to put a particular substance in, then you're going to put X, all right? So the first one is diamond. Now, diamond is basically a form of carbon. So what category would you put that under? Would you put diamond under the category of element, a compound, or a mixture, or X? Okay, let's see what you guys says. Somebody says element, and I'm in agreement with that, so I'm going to put E here. Okay, the next one is sugar, and it gives you the formula for sugar as well. Actually, that's not the formula for sugar. That's the formula for glucose. But anyway, we're going according to the formula. Well, glucose is a form of sugar. Typically, when we're talking about sugar, we're talking about a different compound, C12H22O11. But anyway, let's go with this formula. So, what category would you put that under? Okay, let's see what you guys say. Compound is indeed correct. So, I'm going to put C here. All right. Milk. What category would you put milk under? All right, let's see here. Compound is, oh, mixture. Okay. Yes, I would be in agreement with that. So M here would be a mixture. I'm sorry, milk would be a mixture. Okay, the next one is iron. What category would you put that under? Let's see what this person says. 2 persons, actually. Element, you're both correct. So E for iron. And then we get to air, the air we breathe. We talked about that earlier. Okay, so the air we breathe is a mixture. All right. Okay, sulfuric acid. Okay, let's see what you guys say. Compound is indeed correct, so I'm going to put a C here. Okay, the next one is gasoline. Gasoline, yeah, we saw this earlier, right? It's a mixture. So M here. Electricity. What category would you put electricity under? Okay, let's see what this person says. Two persons, actually. Uh, Neither, exactly. So we're going to put an X here. All right. Krypton. Okay, let's see what this person says. Element. Yeah, two persons says element. So we're going to put the E here. Bismuth. Okay, let's see what you guys say. Element again is also correct. So I'm going to put E here. What about uranium? Uranium, element again. Okay, and then popcorn. Okay, let's see what you guys say about that. Mixture, correct. So I'm going to put M here. Okay, next one is water. Compound is correct. So C. The next one is alcohol. Compound again. Okay, a pail of garbage. A pail of garbage. Let's see what you guys say. A mixture. Okay, very good. So that would be an M. A dog. Let me see here. Mixture again. All right. Ammonia. Ammonia. Let's see what you guys say. A compound, which is correct. So C here. Salt. A compound, which I'm in agreement with. Energy. None. So I'm going to put an X here. Gold. Element. Okay, let me scroll. Well, let me clear this first. And then I'll scroll down. Okay, the next one is wood. Mixture. I'm in agreement with that. Bronze. Mixture again. Ink. The next one. Mixture again. Pizza. Mixture again. Dry ice, which is frozen carbon dioxide. Compound. So that's a C. Baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate. Okay, I see three responses. And they're all correct compounds. So, oh, what's going on here? Okay, C. All right, I see one more response, which I think is probably the same answer. Yeah, all right. What's the next one? Titanium. Okay, let's see here. Two responses, and they're both correct. Elements. And the final one in this series, concrete. Mixture. Yep, that's correct. All right, so that basically answers those. All right. Okay. Any questions about any of these? Any questions? Any questions? All right, so let's clear this and scroll down. Okay, so for number 8, it says match each diagram with its correct description. And the diagrams will be used once. So basically, you're going to have some descriptions down here. Let me make this smaller here. Okay, so you have some diagrams here. So the spheres basically represent atoms, right? And you're going to say, you're going to match each of these to the statements that accurately describes it, right? So let's start off with number 1. Pure element, only one type of atom present. So which one of these would fit this description right here? Okay, let's see what you guys say. I see 3 responses, and they're all saying C. So that would be correct. So let me put, hold on. Let me put C here. Okay. The next one is a mixture of 2 elements, 2 types of uncombined atoms. So which one of these would fit that? Let me see here. Okay, so I see 4 persons saying E, and that is correct. So let me put E here. Okay, the next one says a pure compound. Only one type of compound present. Okay, let's see what you guys say. Um, I see 4 responses, and you're all saying the same thing. B, which is indeed correct. So let me put B here. Okay, very good. And then number 4 says a mixture of 2 compounds, 2 types of compounds present. Let's see here. Okay, I see 5 responses. 6, okay. 7. And you're all saying A, which is true. Okay, so A is correct. All right. And then 5, a mixture of a compound and element. Well, by default, that would be D. And I think that's what you guys are saying. Yep. So D would be the answer for number 5. All right, and that's it as far as number 8 is concerned. All right. Any questions about this one? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right. Oh, that's the last question. Okay, so basically we're finished with this assignment. Let me clear this. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to set up a Dropbox for assignment number 3. Uh, okay, let me do this. And let me set up the deadline dates. Okay, so today is the 27th. So I'm going to set the deadline for this for tomorrow. It's relatively easy, this assignment, so you should be able to submit it by tomorrow. Let me just do some other things here. Um, so due date would be um, tomorrow, as I said, available from, um, hold on, from, oh, this is the wrong year. My bad. From today until tomorrow. Okay, so you should now be able to submit your assignment in the Dropbox. What I'm going to do also is that I'm going to publish the next series of videos. So let me do that right now before I forget. Which would be for chapter 4, right? Okay, so chapter 4 is published. So make sure you watch those videos and come prepared next class to do problems. Let me just say that I'm thinking, I haven't made a final decision yet, but I'm thinking because your first test would be February 2nd, the week of February 2nd. Yes, so from February 2nd, hold on, today's it. I'm sorry, February 9th, my bad. I knew I was saying something wrong. February 9th, right? The week of February 9th to the 13th, right? So I'm thinking that your first test will be based on chapters 1 through 3. I haven't made the final decision yet. I may or may not include chapter 4, right? But the first 3 chapters definitely will be on the first test, right? So basically, I'm giving you a heads up now. You can go ahead and review, um, those assignments that I've graded for you guys. I think I've graded assignments 1 and 2 and send them back to you. If you have not received your graded assignment, please let me know ASAP, all right? But I think I've graded assignments 1 and 2. I'm going to grade assignments 3 as soon as possible and send them back to you so that you can review those in preparation for your first test, all right? Okay, that's pretty much it for today, unless there are any questions. Let me see here. Hold on. I think there's somebody asking a question in the chat. Oh, so Cooper, you're saying that you'll be out of town for that week. Yes, you can take it before. I'd prefer before actually. That week. So we can sit down and make arrangements. You can come by my office during my office hours and do the test during that time. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. So that's pretty much it, folks. So make sure you watch the videos for chapter 4 so that you're ready to come and discuss that topic next week, Tuesday. All right. Okay. So if there are no other questions, that's pretty much it for today. I'll see you guys next week.